everyone, I am Ms. Vazone, and today we're going to be talking about multiplying fractions. Alright, so 1/2 times 1/2. When I hear the word 1/2, I like to think of. Think of what is half of a half. If I have, so we have 1/2 times 1/2. So think of it this way. You have half a pizza, so I have this 1/2 pizza, right? And I'm cutting that in half. I'm cutting my half pizza in half. How much of that pizza do I now have? I have a quarter, right? I have a quarter of that whole pizza. So when you are multiplying fractions, all you're doing is multiplying the numerators and multiplying the denominators. A half times a half really is this fraction half of the time. So half of this fraction, if that makes sense. Makes sense in my brain. So imagine I have 2/3 times 3/4. Imagine I'm taking each of my quarters and I'm finding 2/3 of it. So I'm taking this quarter and I want to find 2/3 of it. So there's my thirds and I want 2 of them. I want my 2/3, 2 of them. 2/3, 2 of them. So how many total are in this fraction? How many pieces did I turn this into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then how many did I shade in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I found for each of my 3/4, I found 2/3 of it. And again, what did I really do here? 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. 6/12. And then one thing that we can do, we can simplify this fraction. How do you simplify 6/12? You can divide the top and the bottom by 6. So the answer is actually 1/2. So for each of my 3/4, I'm finding 2/3 of each of them. And that's the idea behind multiplying fractions. But really, while that's nice, most of us are in high school, upper middle school. At this point, we just want to be able to do the problems. Hate to say it, but I need to be able to do this so that when it comes up in my probability, when it comes up in trigonometry, when I'm throwing x's in there, I can do these processes. So 5/6 times 1/2. Multiply your numerators. 5 times 1 is 5. 6 times 2 is 12. Can we simplify? No, those two numbers have nothing in common. Pause the video. I want you to try the other 3. This hopefully was just a reminder. Alright, so let's simplify this. 4 times 3 is 12. 7 times 8 is 56. We can simplify this though. What number divides into both? For me, personally, I always recognize, oh, they're even. I'm just going to divide by 2. So let's divide by 2. And you get 6/28. But then, oh, I can do that again. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. 3/14 is the answer. Now another method. Now if you struggle with this, you can ignore what I'm about to say. The easy way to do this is to cross cancel. Look at these fractions. Can you do anything to 4/7? No. 3/8? No. Now look at the diagonals. 3/7? No. 4/8? Yes. 4 goes into 8 twice. So I'm going to divide by 4 here, and I get a 1. Divide by 4 here and get a 2. So now my numerator, 1 times 3 is 3. 7 times 2 is 14. So that's a faster way, especially if you don't like using a calculator. You don't want to have to go through that process. All right, so number 5. Multiply across. 9 times 5 is 45. Over 10 times 6 is 60. Now think really hard. There's a decently big number that goes into both. 15. Those both can be divided by 15. 45 divided by 15 is 3. And 60 is 4. And again, to cross cancel, can't do anything here, can't do anything here. But 5 and 10, 5, right? Divide by 5, you get a 1. Divide by 10, you get a 2. And then 9 and 6. You can divide both of those by 3. 3 gives you 3. Divide by 3, you get a 2. So on the top, 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 2 is 4. All right, last one. 13 times 3, 15 times 2. Multiplying our numerators, multiplying our denominators. So we get 39 over 30. What can those both divide by? 3. Hopefully you recognize that. Divide by 3, and we get 13 over 10. Now, depending on what grade you're in, I like this as an answer personally. I'm a high school teacher. I do middle school, but I'm really like a high school teacher at heart. I love improper fractions. This is a perfectly wonderful answer to me. There is no reason to change that. That's fine. Do you want to change it to 1 3/10? You can. I don't really see it as necessary, but it really depends on the problem. If you're focusing on a word problem and you have 13/10 cups or something, you want it to make more sense, you could put it in a mixed number, but I like that. If we wanted to cross cancel, hopefully you see that we have our 3 and our 15. So divide by 3, you get a 1. Divide by 3, you get a 5. So 13 over 10. Okay. I think that's it. No. Oh. So here's some notes. I think writing down like the process can help it stick in your brain a little better. So when multiplying fractions, multiply the numerators, that's the top of the fraction, multiply the denominators, the bottom, and simplify. We are not multiply across, not cross multiply. I get a lot of kids that tell me, oh, you just cross multiply. No, cross multiplying is for equations only. These are not equations, these are expressions. We are just adding numbers together. Without an equal sign, you cannot cross multiply. Multiply across, there's a huge difference. Multiply across. Multiply your numerators, multiply your denominators. Do not cross multiply. If you do, shame. I will shame you. That's sarcasm, it was a joke. I hope this was a helpful review. Hopefully now this can help you with your harder math. All right, have a great day.